Welcome, everybody, to joining me for coffee this morning or this afternoon. Now, this is the third time I'm doing this live. The first time it went well. The second time it sucked. This time is going to be better than all of them. I promise you. Now, we do have over 13,331 views or prescribers or whatever they're called. I'm not the tech guy in this. I'm just the mouth. Adam asked me if I ever, the first question that Adam wanted me to answer today was, if I ever had any dreams about Tony Spilotro. I looked at him and started laughing. What are you, a goof, asking me questions like that? And then I said, yeah, I did. I had a couple of dreams about Tony. Just a couple in all them years since I rolled. And they weren't violent dreams. It was pretty funny, actually. Tony and I met in a private location, and he had a light gray suit on. Tony always had a habit of chewing on his thumb. People thought he had a toothpick in his mouth. That was actually his thumb. He used to chew on it like this till he had half a nail. So he's talking to me with his thumb in his mouth. And I said to him, Tony, do you got any hard feelings of what happened? He's absolutely not. Brahma, he called me Brahma. He said, I understand why you done it. I says, you ain't setting me up over here, are you? And he said, no. He said, I just wanted you to know we're friends. And then I woke up. So that was a dream. And the other dream I had about him, same dream, maybe it was about 6 months later, he had the same suit on. I hope he changed it. I got it clean. But he had the same color suit on. And we talked again. And I don't remember what was said in that. And of course, once you wake up from your dream, you remember them right away, and then you forget them. Any dream. And that's the dreams I had of Tony. Now, if there's any questions that you people want to ask me, make sure you shoot them at me now. And don't ask me anything stupid, okay? Or if you think it's stupid and it's not stupid, ask me, and I'll try to answer it. All right? So I'm ready. Call in. Thank you.
So H. Port was the person who actually asked about Tony. If you ever had a dream about Tony,
Oh,
that's who it was. H. Port.
H. Port, hello.
And the reason that I brought it up is because the other night I dreamt about you and Tony. Remember the same? And I woke up terrorized.
What a nightmare.
How many hits was Joey Hansen involved, and who did he hit? That's from Chad Weismer.
You know, I was told that he killed Tamara Rand, and he was also involved in that Schaefer, I think that was his name, hit. Now, we don't run around telling each other how many people we killed. So remember the only two I could name off the top of my head. Oh, and this guy out of Arizona, the one that Paul Schiro went to jail for, he was involved in that hit too. Real estate guy. I can't think of his name, Vasky or something like that. Anyway, that's about all I could help you out there.
So CJ McDowell said, love your dog. What's his name? His name's Magnum.
His name is Magnum. Magnum, where you at? Magnum's a good dog. He don't belong to me. I wish he was my dog. And they're not going to let this dog go for anything. I can't have a dog anyway. Anyway, here he comes now. Come here, Magnum. Come on. Say hello to the people on TV. Look. You see him? Look. You see Magnum? That's a good boy, Magnum. Yes, he's a good. Okay, enough of Magnum. Enough TV.
Steve M. Just a quick shout out. He said, I love your videos, Mr. Cullotta. Steve.
Hey, T, how you doing? Thank you for enjoying them. Keep on watching. We got a lot more to come. I'm so damn lazy. That's the problem.
JJ Smith said, can you talk about the guys from Melrose Park?
Melrose Park always had the presence of the outfit. And there were so many different factions of guys that lived there. Even one time, Joey Aiuppa lived there. So many guys lived in that town. And wise guys that weren't even made guys, soldiers. A lot of good guys. There were a lot of stand-up guys. And then you had your shit too, you know. So that's the best I could do for you there. It was a town you had to be careful that we even had the police force locked up there. Usually when there's a presence of outfit or gangsters, there's always somebody on the police force that you control.
All right, so watching right now, we have Chris Reed.
Hey, Superman!
And guess who else we have? We have Christopher Reed. Christopher Reed.
Must be brothers, the Reeves. Reeves.
Two Supermans watching. All right, H. Port. He asked about the dream earlier. Coming up, did old timers ever tell you any Capone or 1920 Chicago gangster stories?
No, not really. None of them. I was much too young at the time. I must have been 8 years old. My father passed away, so all of his friends would have been around his age. And what are they going to do? Sit down, put me on their knee, and talk about Al Capone? The only thing I could talk about Al Capone is things I heard later on in years. Where what everybody knows, you know. Some people liked him, some people hated him. It was all depend on who you talk to.
Wasn't he kind of a promiscuous individual?
You know, he put up a front like he took care of all the poor people, used to have soup lines. Maybe he was sincere in that. How would I know for sure? But one thing, it reached a lot of poor people, and of course, they defended him because he took care of the poor. He had a bad habit. He liked hookers, and he liked coke. This is the things I was told. So he did coke. Even back then, they did coke. So it just goes to show you.
So Peter Faulkner. What we got? Columbo now.
You got the whole family.
Peter Faulkner. He wrote, "I don't believe Tony put a murder contract on you."
That's you can believe what you want to believe. I don't really care. So you actually believe that I rolled because I was afraid to go to jail? I tell you, jail is an inconvenience. There's always that door that opens. So whatever you wish to believe, believe. I don't care.
Juice Lone Jimmy. He said, "Me too." He likes hookers. No coke though.
To each his own.
Yeah, right. Any Doyle Brunson story? The Las Vegas poker legend? Stefan asked that.
No, I don't have any stories about them.
Okay. Do you have any opinion of Bill Bannono or Joe Bannono's son?
That's all I know is that he wasn't really, I mean, he's connected to his father. He wasn't really I don't believe he was really a made guy. We never talked about him as being a boss. And he's out of New York anyway, and they wind up living in Florida. So there's not much I can really say about Bill.
Hey, so Ryan Brown wants to know, was Tony into cocaine heavy? And he loves the videos, by the way.
You know, Tony, I didn't know he was into cocaine that much until the very last maybe 3-4 months of his life, or that I was around, let's say. And the only reason why I used to wonder why he could stay up, how he could stay up 24 hours a day, but always managed to get home at 5, 6 in the morning to send his son off to school. Until one day, he miraculously showed me one of these little brown bottles. We were sitting in a My Place lounge, and he pulled it up and he said, "Look what I found in between the cushions." And I looked at him and I laughed. I said, "Looked like it came out of your pocket." And he smiled. It was coke. So that's when I started realizing Tony was using coke.
Okay. Paulo 7219 wants to know, was there any outfit presence in St. Paul, Minnesota?
Yes, there was. Did I have any connections with him? No.
Okay. H. Port said, is the bank that you dug beneath, is it still standing?
You know, I never really went back to look. It's like if you burn a building down, you're not ever go back to look at what you've done before, because eventually you're looking to get caught by doing it. Or like leaving a prison. Once you leave a prison, you don't turn around to look back, because that means you want to go back. So I never looked back to see if it was ever there. I'm sure, I would say I'm sure, probably the whole block's been reconstructed. They probably got a mall there and all. Who knows?
Robert Batari, He said, Frank, remember me? It's Bobby Bag of Donuts.
No, I don't remember you,
No?
Bobby. I should remember that name, Bobby Bag of Donuts. I know a guy by the name of Joe Cupcakes.
All right. All Gravy said, have you ever met Sharon Stone? And what's she like?
Yeah, I met Sharon Stone on the movie, doing Casino. And I got to tell you something. She's a classy lady. Very, very intelligent woman. Very intelligent. She's so intelligent, she could talk or speak to you on your level of education. Yeah. In other words, you'll never feel uncomfortable around her. I enjoyed her company. We had a lot of good times together on the set. Nothing, just as friends. And she was dating a younger guy. So yeah, I seen her every day.
So, does the name Larry Donnelly ring a bell?
It does, but I can't put a face on it. Larry Donnelly.
Yeah. All right. Kent Sapp.
Yeah, Kent Sapp. I like that. You're not a sap, I hope not.
Did you ever meet Felix Skinny Razor DiTullio?
No.
No?
Where's he from?
Don't know.
All right, well, I don't know.
But you do have a shout out here from Slovakia.
Oh, way over there?
Jarko Toth, Slovakia. Yeah, he's having some coffee watching you.
Enjoy your coffee. Thank you for contacting me from way over there. Appreciate it.
Trent Nonpareil said, respect to you, Frank. I look forward to all of your videos. Who was the most powerful non-Italian outfit member? Do you know Chucky Russell or Robert Panazzo? Any idea what the outfit is up to today?
First, let's answer your last question. In my heart, I don't believe there's an outfit any longer in Chicago. There might be a presence, but it's real minute. Nothing to fear. Too many stupids running around out there. And what is the other question? He asked 3 questions.
Who's the most powerful non-Italian outfit member?
At this time, I don't know.
Or
But
who
back
was? Yeah.
then, it would have probably been Lansky, Meyer Lansky, guys like that. Old Jewish guys. They had connections with the outfit very strongly because they generated a lot of money for the Chicago outfit and New York outfit.
And then Chucky Russell or Robert Panazzo?
I don't believe I know them names.
So H. Port wanted to know, how do you adjust to the Vegas heat, being that you're from Chicago?
It's all about your blood, the thinning of it. It's real simple. You got to be nuts to walk around at 108 when it's 108 at a time. You don't see anybody walking on the streets unless they had a DUI and they can't drive. So they're stuck walking or sleeping on the curb. No, you adjust to it automatically.
Ken Haddad wants to know, did you ever deal with Jimmy Tamer out of Detroit? Jimmy Tamer, sorry.
You know, I know you're talking about. No, I never dealt with him. And I think you've asked me questions previously. Yeah, I remember that name. I like that name. Hello to you.
Jacqueline Martin said, hiya, Frank. You look great. Love your doggy.
Thank you. I'm doing pretty good for 81, huh? But I couldn't get into a running match with anybody. They kicked my ass. My dog. That's not my dog. I wish it was.
Joe Dura, did you know James Files, the man who claimed he shot JFK?
You know, this guy Files, I hear his name quite often for years. And he claims he killed Kennedy. I don't know the guy personally. I guess the government don't feel as though he done it because I feel as though the government were responsible for the Kennedys getting whacked. No, I don't know.
All Gravy wants to know, was prison like Goodfellas portrayed it, like luxurious for gangsters?
Well, we did have it made in prison. We even had it better when we were like in the county jail waiting to go to prison. And we were able to reach out more to the guards. There's always corrupt guards in the county jail. Don't forget they're working pretty near for nothing, these guards. So they're looking to make some money. And yes, it was like they showed in the movie Goodfellas. As a matter of fact, by me telling that story, Nick Pilleggi took it and spun it around and put Henry Hill in that situation in the prison. So yeah, I did it with Sam Giancana, and when we were in Stateville Penitentiary, I made all the connections in there through the guards. And yes, we used to eat anything we wanted. We had the best jobs.
Chad Weismer, he just left a comment. Hyman Larner, who was Chicago's Meyer Lansky, and Sal Bastone.
Sal Stone. I know the name well. So, but I can't put a face on it or what dealings I have with him. The other guy, if he did deal with the outfit, he dealt with guys like Milwaukee Phil, Joe Ferriola, people like that, Marshall Gafano, people like that, not on my level. I wasn't made when I was in Chicago. I only got made when I got to Vegas.
The Wakeland said, much respect to you, Frank. Do you ever miss that life?
You know, I got to tell you the honest to God truth. Of course, I miss that life. Would I want to go back to it? No. But if I had to go back to it, you could bet there'd be a lot of different changes. And I may have accepted that offer of being a made man back then. But I always looked at it like this. When you're a boss in the outfit, you only got two places to go, in the hole or jail.
So Metalhead finally's caught you live.
Metalhead.
Yeah, Metalhead.
You must like that heavy metal.
Juice Loading Jimmy said Henry Hill worked on a farm in prison and his wife smuggled him drugs to sell in the clink.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Whenever you're on the farm, it's easier to get drugs and money because you're not watched 24. You're not supervised constantly. You got freedom. You can walk around on the grounds. You drive vehicles if you work in the field. So yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I was on the farm. Of course, we used to get a lot of food in. We didn't deal with drugs. We get the food that we like, Italian food.
So Superman, Christopher Reed, he said, Frank, I watched an interview with Ralph Natale, the boss of Philly. He said he had the outfit calling him in to do the dirty work. Please let it be known that this guy is full of shit.
I agree with you. What do we need him for? I'm going to explain something I never explained to people before. Say there were nine made guys in Chicago that they answered to the underboss because the underboss answered to whoever the top guy was at the time. These guys would have these made guys, at least 3 to 5 guys that were hitmen that worked for them. So I'd say 5. 5 times 5, what do you got? Huh, 25? Killers running around, dying to kill for their boss. So why did they have to go to another state to get a killer, to do a killing? I hope that answers your question.
So Teddy Googs, he said you probably answered this, and sorry if you have,
Don't
but
worry.
did you have time to meet Whitey Bulger or any of his guys?
No, never met Whitey Bulger. Heard about him when we were active, but never physically met him, nor was there any reason that Tony or I or the Chicago outfit would want to associate with him anyway.
Kevin Wolfgram, he wants a shout out. He's in San Diego.
Kevin Wolfgram, how you doing, brother? I lived in San Diego. 25 years I lived there. Nobody knew I was there.
Gardino Incorporated said, can I get a shout out? Joe Gardino from San Jose. I like your deep dish recipe.
Enjoy it, Joe. Hope you enjoy it. Follow I done a cookbook. You're going to see a lot of recipes pretty soon. Almost done. How you doing, buddy? Thank you.
All right, Jamie Richard, Mad Sam, really crazy or just an act?
Really crazy. The man was a lunatic, no doubt about it. You could be as crazy as you want when you got backing, and he had backing. Another guys that would watch his back. Yeah, he was out of his mind. I believe he worshipped the devil, truly.
Robert Gillette, any dealings with Brooklyn Bay Ridge?
No, Robert Gillette, you related to the razor blades? No affiliation with him.
Mocock wants to know, or Mocac wants to know, hi Frank, did you date Sharon Stone?
No, I didn't even attempt to try to make a move with her. Do I think it could be possible? Who knows? I would have loved them what took her out. Of course I would have. Like I said, she's a classy lady, man, and very educated.
JJ Smith wants to know, did you know Frank Imperato from Chicago?
Yeah, I knew him slightly. I never dealt with him.
Metalhead wants to know, what was the easiest car to steal?
Fords. Fords were always the easiest car. Fords were the easiest car to steal. I used to think they made them so we could steal them. That was simple. Then General Motors was next. Then they come out with all these foreign cars. That's when it became difficult.
Super NBA 627 said, sending you well wishes all the way from London, Frank. Love the channel, mate.
Thank you, mate. That's a long way. Appreciate you people back there watching my channel. I do have a lot of viewers from London and Australia, all over the world, actually.
Paulo 7219 said, did outfit guys have women groupies? And was there a particular bar or restaurant you would go to pick up women?
Yeah, we had groupies. Of course, we had groupies, a lot of them. And we knew who they were. You could tell. Bars that we hung in, yeah. We tried to hang in bars, but it only lasted a little while where we knew the cops wouldn't know where we would be. And they were all over the city. And they no longer exist. So it would be like telling you something that's buried.
Tony Smith said, any dealings with any St. Louis gangsters?
There was one guy, but I don't think any of you know him, that I dealt with. His name was Mangini, and I stole with him one time, but you wouldn't know him. He was connected, but he wasn't a made guy.
Jamie Richards said, is Frank Shireen a fraud or a legit guy?
Frank Sharina.
Yeah, Frank Shireen, the Irishman.
I don't. The Irishman, I thought his name was Ron, the guy that worked directly for Hoffa. And he was his bodyguard, his friend. That's the guy he claimed he killed Hoffa. Well, I don't believe it. And a lot of people don't believe it. But when you're doing a movie and you're making, or Netflix is paying you $150 million, you know, these movie stars and the directors and everybody else are going to believe it. Wouldn't you believe it for $150 million?
Breadwinner wants to know, did rolling eat at you and inside of you? Eat at you?
The rolling?
Yeah, when you roll.
Oh, when I roll? Oh my God. You have no idea. It took me 25 years to get it out of my system. This was the worst day of my life when I done it. Am I sorry I done it today? No. I wasn't raised to roll.
Okay, so Kevin Wolfgram said, I just saw Ralph Natale do an interview with Patrick Bet David on Valuetainment. Any interactions with Natale? Have you seen that interview?
I just seen the advertisement of it. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. The Wakeland wants to know, will it ever come out where Hoffa's body really is?
I don't even think the bones are there anymore. You know, evaporate, everything disappears. I don't think they'll ever find out.
Okay, Adam Duran wants to know, how big was the average made man's crew? Love the channel.
Hold on a minute, I gotta sneeze. It could have anywhere from 5 to 25 guys in it.
Okay. So, thanks everybody for supporting the channel. We got one last quick question. Shout out to Tony Smith. Best wine, in your opinion, to get my wife in the mood?
I never use wine for leverage to get anybody in bed. But I like Pinot. I can't even pronounce it. Pinot Noir, the white. I like it. That's my wine. Like I said, I can't tell you about that, buddy. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up right now.
And R13 wants to know, Frank, how did you meet Adam?
Adam, my guy over here that runs this production company. It's a little long story. Actually, when I first met him, I fired him. He was a tour guide on one of my tour buses, and I didn't like what he was telling people. He's a comedian. He's a magician. This kid's multi-talented. And he gets up there, and when you're an actor, you start playing to the audience. And my tours are serious.
I
So
was
fired
joking
him.
around. I was just
You
making
don't
jokes.
joke on my tours, so I fired him. And look where he's at now. Now he's got a better job than me. He's a good man.
Lastly, how long was Sal Ramono wearing a wire? That's
You know,
from Ryan
I don't
Brown.
really know how long he wore a wire, but I could tell you this much. It must have been for a minimum of 2 years. Let me shorten that up. Maybe a minimum of a year and a half. And he thought about being a stoop agent or an informant for 2 years.
Okay, and Lazaro
Hey, I
married.
thought we were going to rant.
I know we're wrapping, but they have one last question. Where do you get your cigars? Lazaro wants to know.
Here's the cigars I smoke. I love them too. Hemingway Classics, Arturo Fuente. There's a lot of cigar joints in town. You got En Fuego, and you got this other one. I can't think of it. It's on Sahara too, in Las Vegas. They're both good joints. So that's what I smoke. And I'm not supposed to smoke right now. Rapping. We're going to rap. This guy will keep me here till tomorrow. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Come back again. Tell me if you like this channel. Me doing this live. Bye.